for all the family members. So when the media didn't necessarily find out about some of these things, but there was some very active amateur sleuthing going on on Reddit and on web sleuths. And there was a lot of information coming out on these forums that the detectives, it's not even clear if the detectives even noticed or cared about any of these things that were coming out. But the people who were people of interest had criminal records, and they were all being talked these online forums. And so the newspaper picked up on that, and the media picked up on that. And then the detective ultimately, found out about these things, but it seemed like they would interview some of these people and just kind of move on.
Yeah, and that was one of the frustrating parts of reading this is that there seems to be more of a lackadaisical approach to this and how they're being too nice to family members and trying to get too much cooperation instead of saying we are doing X, like we are going to be searching this computer. Um, we
Well,
are
and
searching this house.
one other thing that struck me was the detective didn't figure this out, that Dan Kavanaugh, who, by the way, a year earlier had sent a series of threatening messages to Joseph McStay that he was going to shut down the business if he didn't pay him money, because he was mad that he found out that Joseph McStay and Chase Merritt had been working on some custom projects on the side and not cutting Dan Kavanaugh in. And so Dan was a concern for Joseph McStay, and he also started taking money from Joseph's PayPal through Joseph's PayPal account before he was even reported missing, things like that. The detective just ignored these things, and then he would get information from the family, and the information actually came from from Dan Kavanaugh, telling the family members these things, but it was as if the detective couldn't figure that out, and he was taking it as information that was coming from the family when it wasn't.